Imagine for a moment, what would it feel like when you are impacting the world positively so much and enhancing your business, your health, your family, and legacy? All of this together simultaneously, continuing to grow leaps and bounds, fast and smoothly. If you've got the right motives, we believe Antino Narni will be able to help you launch your legacy in compressed time. Every single participant that you see sitting out there in the auditorium, before they came to UP, there's a one-on-one diagnostic that happens. There's implementation and installations that happen even before they come to UP. UP is where they come in ready already. UP is something that brings about a very, very special kind of transformation for each person.
I am the happiest person in the world!
What is fascinating to me about UP is it's probably the only program in the world where so many families come together. Parents have expressed is the biggest gift that they can give to their child, is like the biggest gift that they can give to their spouse. Because UP is where, to me, families evolve together. And that's very, very special.
Once you're able to make that in your family, you're not just helping your family, but you've also evolved yourself to become capable enough to understand different people, differences in the way they think, and to be able to shift it. If you could do that there, you can do that in your business too. Because at the core level, shifting mindsets is the same. We all have the same neurology. Your context might change, in business and in family, but you're working with the same human neurology.
I want to basically change the perception of beauty for people. I keep breaking down, for no reason and crying sometimes. It's, I think, because like I'm talking to you also, I'm choking up because I think of Nora and I just, nothing negative, it's all positive. I'm very proud of her. I'm not strong.
Basically, I have an eye defect. I went to the doctor, and after that it was diagnosed that I have something known as cone-rod dystrophy. They said you have this particular defect which has no cure. Since it is a degenerative disease, there may be a point wherein you will lose all your vision.
I've lost very dear ones in my life, very, very dear ones. That was the biggest hit back for me.
I have been wanting to launch an online retail line of products.
Shoulder pain is primarily due to the cervical I'm suffering from. It has just gone from bad to worse.
I want to be brilliant in whatever I'm doing.
Your strategy has to come from what you want to finally achieve, because a strategy is long term. You look at the final outcome and you think backwards. So you then decide what is the immediate thing that you have to improve and innovate on.
The way I start, very motivated, I don't reach there. So there's something which blocks me there.
I want to plan a family. We have been planning for last 1 year, but I haven't been able to conceive. So the egg has to grow to a certain level for, for a baby to happen. So the egg doesn't grow. So they give me hormone tablets for the egg to grow. This cycle I have been trying to do for the last couple of months, but haven't been able to conceive.
I'm looking for a lot of success in all the areas of my life, my professional career, my family, my personal life.
As far as my emotional health is concerned, a lot of vulnerabilities are there inside, which I want to deal with. I'm consciously dealing with a lot of vulnerabilities.
I feel that as an actor, I'm not taken, I feel like I'm limited to a particular lower grade of actors. I don't think I'm respected for what I think I bring to the table. I want to do something that sort of leaves a mark.
Talking about my personal nature, I'm very short-tempered. So when I lose it, I completely lose it.
I am a very intelligent person. I'm fully capable of doing my job. But when it comes to credit and when it comes to promotion, it goes to somebody else.
What is clogging their mind? I mean, how are they thinking right now that is not allowing them to see what is already there in their life? And once I help them to transform from within, in that particular way, they start seeing the opportunities that they didn't see earlier. So I'm looking for, if this person lived for 200 years, what are the opportunities that are tapped into? And what must be true in their behaviors, in their mindset, in their thinking, in their patterns, for them to not arrive there by themselves already. And then we figure out a way to clear it out. We figure out a way to remove the pebbles, install superior capabilities that gets people to get there.
But EID goes a step ahead, and it looks at capabilities of world leaders. Like especially if you look at people like Nelson Mandela, he says that that when he came into power and people were really struggling to the blacks were fighting for respect. The thing that Nelson Mandela did is he started noticing and putting his attention on getting the game rugby to become popular. And someone might think, is he mad? I mean, think about this. The whole country is in turmoil and there's fights going on. Why would he put his attention on rugby? But it turned out, as soon as the game became popular, the way people were responding to the blacks changed. Now, this is what I call as a strategic adjustment. It's the ability to predict consequences of a very strategic adjustment.
We're looking at time compression for every individual. In 3, 4, 5 years, where would they have been? How can I get them there in the next 3, 4, 5 months? That's the nature of work we do.
We develop the enabler capabilities first. Once you have those capabilities, then you start having new opportunities. Then you start having new life experiences. Then you have more capabilities. And then it becomes a cycle that continues to get bigger and bigger by itself.
The past 1.5 years have been very nice in terms of my relationship with my husband, and I have to say it's all because of this. There has been a lot of change in me, there's been a lot of change in him. He's more expressive, he's more emotional towards my needs.
Women's, ladies, and that was reflecting with my relationship with my wife. That has changed dramatically after we did this part integration, right? That has gone. My wife and myself are living right now in last 1.5 months. We have seen probably the best time in my marriage, and we are able to really talk to each other, relate to each other. I am not holding anything back.
The best part, the relationship that I've had with Gaurav so far, which has changed drastically over these 2 years.
And I think we are more closely knit family now. My kids are performing well. They are more friendly with me. They can share anything with me now. Earlier they were not, but today they share everything, good, bad, ugly. Even if something is bad, they will come and share with me. I think that's a great way forward.
Mom, all my friends are jealous with how we are. She there have been times when I would have sat with her and we did breakup messages together. Or we together have been support systems to her friends.
I think both of us, we really love family time. We really love time with each other. We really love time with Sadhya. And I want to have 2 more kids.
When we identify in the diagnostics that these are the special installations you need that's going to create time compression for you, that's going to help you multiply your impact, accelerate your success, whatever your immediate challenges are, to fix them and to move ahead quickly enough, whatever it is that you need for that, that is what we usually do for people at UP. And no two people are the same, so no two installations can be the same, and no two diagnostics can be the same. It's that personalized. So all of that is done for you at UP.
There were a lot of these memories which used to trouble me. I never realized that they were my phobias, and it was not just memories which were haunting me or troubling me, but they were phobias, and I don't have them anymore.
I've already started feeling very powerful altogether. I don't know why, but yeah, it was just not this shoulder. It was the complete spine that I'm talking about. I was not able to walk for that long. I was not able to stand for long hours. It would just make me go crazy.
So currently, do you have easing?
Yeah. After doing reframing, Harini had done it in that demo session. It just didn't happen. It just went off. Yeah, it was just as a miracle. It just went off, and afterwards I haven't used inhaler for this purpose.
I've not evolved so much in so many years that I've lived, as much as it's been in this 7 to 8 months that I've changed so much.
Yeah, I feel much better. I can run and climb stairs. Yeah, I can do that, and I can do this 2 or 3 times in a day. Earlier on, I used to be in my own pace, taking my own time. That is brilliant.
First thing, it gives me a lot of freedom. When I look back, I feel that over the years, we accumulate our unresourceful states too much.
I want more good health, more joy, and more curiosity to keep doing what I'm doing so that I never stop.
It has been 2 years now. I have been coming here and I have not had that pain. It's April 2019, the pain is not there, not even the tiniest bit of it.
My emotions are not boggling me down. They're not coming on my head and making me really do something which I'm generally not doing. So I was more cool, calm, understanding the situation as they are.
Out of like say 0 to 100, I would say about 60-70% is better. The moment it started improving, I became a lot more confident, I became a lot more independent. Like earlier I would need some company to go here and there. Now I'm more able to, work independently. I don't, consciously think about, I have a problem now. Earlier, I used to like, oh my God, I have this, how am I going to manage that particular situation when I get there? I'm at a much happier space right now.
It's just a great feeling to feel exhilarated and free from your own thoughts and your past, that you were carrying that baggage. I think that has helped me a lot.
The experience has to be to change who you are from within, so that in the weeks and months you live new experiences, you create new thoughts to the point that it shows on the outside. That you just interact, be who you are, be natural, but the vibe you give out is different. People look at you and have confidence in the things that you say. And it's not about what you say, it's not even about body language as to do I broaden my shoulder or do I lower my voice. It has to be a natural vibe, and natural vibe comes from stored patterns. Patterns come from repetition. Repetition comes from breaking an existing pattern and creating a new pattern instead. And that's what we do at UP.
So there are great things that have happened. I see opportunities in front of me. Whereas maybe they were there earlier, but I didn't really realize were an opportunity. Maybe because I was so afraid of, putting myself out there and actually doing it.
After that Mumbai UP event, a lot of people came back and tell what happened to you. Everyone in my team has come back and told something happened to you. Why are you not shouting at us? Why are you not angry? I feel more resourceful. I know what exactly is going on, where we're going wrong. All those things earlier I was not paying attention to all that.
I started to look at what more can I do, and as of today I've gotten another offer from the market that I'm trying to contemplate, which is for a bigger role. And there was no interview this time around. He did not ask me a single question. He said, "This is the role, would you like to join?" They've given me the offer today, and I'm already thinking, is this big enough for me? Do I need to take even bigger leaps? I think I'm packing more.
I think I've seen the largest impact that I've seen is in my career.
I think I remember very clearly telling Antonio that I'm looking for respectability. I want the right kind of people and the right kind of casting directors to approach me with the right kind of roles. That has happened. So they're offering me great roles, and if there's not, and you meet the really best casting directors in the country, I'm saying. Like if there are 30 people waiting in line for an audition and I walk in, the casting director takes me in first, regardless of anybody else. No, Harsh sir, aap andar aiye, come and do it. So that kind of respectability in the last year I've got.
The primary directive for everybody after Up is to go and live your life, do what it is that you always wanted to do, because right after the 6 days at Up, people are going to go back to their same family, their same office, their same environment, the same set of challenges as well. Now, you're going back no longer as the same person. You're going back with superior capabilities installed. You're going back with a new set of capabilities and choices which have all become innate. It's part of you. You don't have to try to do it. It's become natural and it's become a part of you. That is installations.
You know, I feel like if somebody lives for 200 years, most people will create a legacy. Because by the time they're like 60, 70, they start to realize their mistakes, and then they start to realize, this is what I should have done. Well, why can't they start that a little earlier? You know, so I feel like who would they be if they lived 200 years? And I think of, can I make that happen today?
Earlier, I would have been like howling on everyone, shouting at all my assistants and the vendors. And now I was like talking to my vendors and my contractors there and trying to give them solutions. Tomorrow, I know how to go and crack it out. I have my own studios, which I conceived during the last lockdown. And this is the biggest studio in Mumbai. I managed to build it. Everyone in the industry talk about it. I have developed this vertical for designing wedding sets. This is the first year and I'm doing already the biggest weddings of the season.
The first time when I had come for Up, I mentioned I wanted to launch an online brand in the next 5 years. Cut to, I am seeing this video after 3 months. Ayura was already launched. I am handling 2 brands now.
Our business has hit numbers and beyond numbers, over 100% achievement for last 2 quarters back to back. So numbers is one part, but the affection and the team spirit and the bond and the brotherhood which is there within the team, that is the most satisfying feeling that I've had after Up, I think. So I was a trusted advisor, but I think in many of those relationships I've grown from a trusted advisor to being a friend also.
Now I've just like started the process and it feels so miraculous. There are people who go around and who give their tapes and their auditions, like they knock doors everywhere. None of this had happened to me. Now I'm just like, what next? What next? Bring it on. What next? Okay, this is next. This is next. Even though I know some of these dance things and some of these music things are going to be hard, I'm ready for it, and I know I can do it happen. And today, instead of saying it is going to happen, I can tell you it is happening. Mari, Mari, kottagani jata, maro, maro, chitramayi kada.
So all my economic activities are related only to that extent. Now that has changed, completely changed. Whatever was pulling me back earlier, it is now absent.
One of my dreams, was to buy a house in some specific township, and which was not achievable. But towards the end of last year, I had made my mind. I have to do this and I have to do this before my birthday. That's it. In 3 months, I literally managed again to buy that house, which was probably 2 times more cost than what I had anticipated. And it happened like a cakewalk. Now I would say 100% projects, 100% clients have this positive feedback and like a positive feeling towards working with me. So it's like completely different then and now. At times I sit down and I literally sit down and think, am I doing right? Am I going too fast? I would stop and ask Purav, like, Purav, you think I'm going too fast? Should I slow down? And he's like, obviously no, if you're able to do it, just do it.
And that confidence to me was very important at a point of time 2 years or 1 year back. And giving me that could happen only with Antino and Harni for me.
The important thing about history is that history repeats. Patterns don't change unless you deliberately interrupt the pattern and then you set forward a new direction. And that is the work we do. So when people come to us, we are interrupting their pattern. And once we interrupt their pattern, we are setting them in a new direction. So once they are in a new direction, the experiences that they create is different. The thoughts are different. The way their body responds to that is different. The history that they're creating in the future for themselves is different. So later, 6 months from then, when somebody looks at them, they're definitely going to see that this person is a new person.
Up is where you're going through a complete software upgrade, and it's happened already. It's happened to you in the form of capabilities. Now with this new you, you're going back to the same old environment, but this time when the situations are challenging, you find that you're able to respond differently. You're understanding differently, and therefore people are also able to understand you differently because your response is different, your thinking is different, your contribution is different, and your behaviors have changed. The way you look has changed, your vibe has changed. Now this just doesn't happen for one day, this happens every day, and it grows and grows and grows and multiplies. But how can you get your business, health, family and legacy going all together simultaneously at a completely different level altogether? Say you want to influence people or get people to buy into your vision or have the right set of people join your team, become 100 times more productive and be so charismatic. Now all of this is taken care of by us in specific programs after Up.
Something which I had planned to do in 5 years was actually done in 3 months.
I started closing more sales. They are giving you whatever is there because this is one of the few courses which is giving you a complete 360-degree solution rather than a single solution or a one-point solution. It starts with one, but then it transpires into all the other areas of life.
I think I can pack more, I can do more in the same amount of time, and I'm doing it.
You should go behind what actually drives you, and that is something Antino and Harni can pinpoint to you in a second.
A lot of things are happening now where I am able to see through a lot of things very clearly, that what's required without getting stuck with things.
I am walking on 6 different lanes parallelly, and I'm able to walk on the equal speed, at the equal speed on all of them.
Some dark clouds had, paved way for a bright yellow sun for me.
So I'm like super excited.
And I have got this brilliant smile because these two. So I would like to spread it more.
I'm super excited to get where I want to.